I'm paying to pay my taxes. That's the part that drives me fucking crazy.
How did we go from fighting a revolution over a 2% tax on a breakfast beverage to what we pay today?
You know, it's actually kind of insane that I had to pay TurboTax $200 just to figure out how much money I owe the government.
My founding fathers didn't fight a freaking war just so I could give away half my freaking paycheck to the taxes.
Is it just me, or are we all scared to do our taxes this year?
But when you go grocery shopping, did you know that you get 2 taxes taken out on you, 4% and 8%? So right here, tax 1, tax 2, 4% and 8%.
I am sick and tired of being taxed to death.
Y'all are getting bras for $60. Mine are $120. Yes, I am a G cup. That's quite a large size. You'd almost think it's a blessing. But you know what? It's really not, because I'm paying the pink tax plus the plus size tax. Yay! You know what the worst part about it is? They're actually bigger than my f***ing head. And people in public, they notice that, and they stare. And when I meet new people, they want a hug. And I don't want to touch them. But they want a hug anyways. So I gotta do it, right? Social expectations. Or then I'm a bitch? I don't know. Who cares? But regardless of what, no, it's like having cantaloupes and tube socks duct taped to your chest. That's what it feels like, okay? Not great, not a great feeling. Try that on for size and let me know how you like it, because it's freaking awful. And on top of that, you have access to my arms from like the elbow down, because there's so much going on. And you know what? I also can't see my feet, which is hazardous for my small pets, because they like to be around my feet. And baby, I'd be lying if I say they didn't go skating a couple of times just because I couldn't see them, and they don't understand apologies. So you know what? I would like to be part of the $60 bra club.
I'm paying to pay my taxes. That's the part that drives me fucking crazy. I'm willing to pay the taxes, but now I gotta pay some guy in the middle to be able to hand the money? I started looking into this, right? Do you know how much we, you, me, any American taxpayer pays to pay their taxes? How much it costs to file your fucking taxes in this country? $31 billion. All of us combined, every American taxpayer combined, we spend $31 billion. We take out of our pocket, boop, we hand it over to the tax preparation industry, and they fill out a couple forms, and then they send that to the IRS and then tell us how much to pay. I'm paying to be able to get a fucking receipt. So I started looking into this more. Guess what? These same fucking people that I'm paying so I can pay the Internal Revenue Service, those people have spent years lobbying Congress to the tune of $80 million. They have spent on lobbying and local advertising in specific congressional districts to fight against things like direct file and easier tax forms. An industry exists because that industry has created a problem. And this year, that same industry is the sponsor of the fucking Super Bowl.
You know, it's actually kind of insane that I had to pay TurboTax $200 just to figure out how much money I owe the government. There were 2 options on TurboTax. Pay $500, maybe $600 for assistance, or pay $200 to do it my fucking self. I thought TurboTax was always free, as they say in their fucking commercials. I just want to know why in the fuck we have to pay money to figure out how much money we need to pay somebody else. Don't other countries just give you a fucking bill at the end of the year? They're like, yep, this is how much you owe, and then you just fucking pay it? Why does our government make us play a little fucking guessing game to figure it out? It's a fucking 2-hour process to do it yourself, by yourself, paying money to do the work yourself for 2 hours straight just to find out that you owe the government $1,200. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. And then you have to spend $200 on top of it just to do all of the work by your fucking self, just to figure out that you owe that number to the government. Because our government loves to be in a silly, goofy mood once a year, and they're like, yeah, you owe us money, and you ask them how much, and they're like, guess how much you owe us. Do 2 hours of work. See if you get it correct. If you don't, we'll penalize you. You owe us so much more if you get it wrong. And they always phrase the questions on your taxes in the most complicated way. So you fuck up your taxes, so you owe the government more money. Didn't the fucking Pentagon just fail their 6th audit in a row? I don't know about you, but if I fucked up on my taxes 6 years in a row, the government wouldn't be too kind to me. You know, I wasn't even gonna do my taxes this year. I was gonna commit tax evasion. I didn't want to fucking do it, but my parents were up my ass sideways. You need to do your taxes. Are you gonna do your taxes today? You need to sit in the living room and do your taxes. Let us watch you do your taxes. We need to see that you did your taxes. Do your taxes, do your taxes! And so I did my taxes. Actually, my mom did them, because about 20 minutes through, I started crying profusely because I didn't understand the questions, and I apparently filled it out entirely incorrectly, and she took my laptop and did them for me. Because she can't explain how to do taxes, she just understands it. So when I move out, I'm fucked. I do not know how to complete a tax form because of the way they phrase their fucking questions. I don't understand it, and they do that shit on purpose. I want to move out of the United States so badly. I hate it here. I fucking hate it. Everything about it. I want to leave. I want to leave so badly, but this country likes to keep us so poor that we cannot afford to leave. Have a fantastic day.
Tax rant coming to you. When y'all go grocery shopping, do you pay attention to your receipts? Well, normally I do not, which I'm going to start doing now. But when you go grocery shopping, did you know that you get 2 taxes taken out on you, 4% and 8%? Like, what is going on? Why are we being double taxed? And I have the receipts to prove it. So this one is from Walmart. And you got, so right here, tax 1, tax 2, 4% and 8%. Why are they taking out 4% and 8%? And then over here it says tax 1, tax 2. That's from Walmart. And then Target is doing the same thing. And mind you, this is all food products. So right here, so hard to get this to focus. Right, 2, 4%, 8%. And then over here it says how much they are taking out. And then I have another one from Walmart. This one's focusing a little better. 4%, 8%, tax 1, tax 2. Since when did this happen? Since when do we get taxed twice? One 4% and one 8%. If anyone knows anything about this, please comment below and let your girl know, because I'm a bit confused.
I'm pissed off right now. Okay, if anyone else is having TurboTax issues, please tell me like what I'm doing wrong, because I did not take my own advice. I tried doing them on a Sunday because I'm trying to have my shit together and be productive and do it early. Turns out there's one form I'm still waiting on, so I kind of started doing it and I can't even finish it anyways, but I'm trying to be like a good adult, okay? And there is no way that I owe over $1,000 in taxes. Like, I'm being so honest. No possible way that I owe what TurboTax is telling me. I think TurboTax is scamming people. Really hope that's not true, because given my situation, like, this is the first year where I've actually made money from social media, so I know that can kind of make taxes tricky, but it's literally like, TurboTax is supposed to be easy. I've used TurboTax before, like, you just fill it out and it does it for you basically. And by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, what is this crazy fucking fee? You know what? It's like, I try to be a good adult. I really do. I try to get ahead. I try to do things right. I try to do things on time. I try to do all the things and take the necessary precautions to avoid going to federal prison. And you know what? Maybe this is the year I go to federal prison. Just kidding. No, but really, I'm trying. But anyway, I'm to ensure that it's done correctly, because I can't really afford, I literally cannot afford to make money mistakes. But anyways, it's Sunday. We worked out. We're having breakfast and coffee at home. I swear, this is such good milk. I don't know. I love it. It's so good. Let's take a bite of these eggs. I'm like angry and hungry. I shouldn't have even tried to do that today. It just worked up my blood pressure. Like, I try, and that's what happens. No way TurboTax is like giving me accurate information. With my financial situation, it just seemed really sus and off. So we tried. We're gonna get back into bed, rot, watch more Call Her Daddy and White Lotus, eat this breakfast, and drink coffee all day. I'm done being an adult. I give up.
Okay, here's what grinds my gears, okay? My founding fathers didn't fight a freaking war and pour tea in the harbor just so I could give away half my freaking paycheck to the taxes, okay? This is ridiculous and I'm sick of it. I want my whole monies so I can buy crap, okay? And B, hello, if you get a bonus, they take even more. I didn't get a bonus, but I'm already mad preemptively. If I was to get a bonus, they would take even more. So I'm irked right now. I'm ready to pour some tea in the harbor, baby, if you know what I mean. If you're down, maybe that means I'm part of a tea party, or am I not? I'm not. I don't want to be in the tea party, because that, if I dump the tea, anyway.
I am sick and tired of being taxed to death.
Tell me why I have to pay sales tax on used children's clothing at a consignment shop where the sales tax has already been paid when it was bought new the first time. We pay sales tax on everything we buy, but explain to me why we have to pay sales tax on a used vehicle that's already had sales tax paid once, if not more than once. Explain to me why we have to pay property taxes on a home or land that we outright own. Because what is the point of making the mortgage payment so the bank can't take your house if when you're done making all those payments, the government says, oh, you haven't paid your property taxes, it's ours now. So you never even outright own it, so what the heck is the point of paying a mortgage? There's literally nothing we can own in this world without being taxed or being taken away. And I think that's something that both parties on both sides of the aisle can agree with, that there's too many taxes. We're taxed on the food we buy. We're taxed on the water for our home, the electricity for our home, the sewage for our home, the trash for our home. I mean, hell, we're taxed if we die. Our family can't even get everything because there's an inheritance tax and an estate tax and a death tax. We are literally being taxed to death. Don't even get me started on the fact that income tax was never even supposed to be a permanent thing. That was something that Abraham Lincoln enacted to fund the war. But it does make you question as to why we're always in a war. The problem is there's so many of us that will not say anything because that's just how it is. That's how it's been, and that's how it will always be unless people start speaking up. Unless senators and representatives and presidents and anybody in the political spectrum start doing things they say they're going to do. Keep that in mind whenever you're voting for whoever you're voting for in November, because we are literally being taxed to death.
The plan was never supposed to be something that people, middle class America, or people who live paycheck to paycheck take advantage of. Why? Because you need your money now. You don't need to save money on taxes. I've never needed to save money on taxes until I started a business, and opening a 401k was a way for me to pay less taxes to the government. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. Everyone now has a 401k thinking that it's the best retirement plan there is, when the founder, this guy Ted, regrets that it's become what it is because his initial thought was that the employer would take care of the fees associated with the 401k and the retirement plan. But now the fees are paid for by the employee. Not only the fees, the taxes, the penalties, everything. All of the risk of the plan has been put onto the employee, not the employer. The employer is getting a lot of tax benefits by offering the plan and making sure that all of the employees have a 401k. And it's not really that big of a deal because they need the tax deduction. But if all of the employees are people who need the money, then locking up their money for the next 20, 30, 40 years is not beneficial.